Hey, YouTubers, welcome back to the Smitty Sebastian Kirk Show. I am Smitty Sebastian Kirk.
And I'm Misha C.
And we are honoring and celebrating Black History Month. Again, like I said before, should we say Happy Black History Month?
I think we should.
Okay. Happy Black History Month. I don't know, that sounds corny enough, but here it goes. So we just want to give a little honor to Black History Month because we are Black. But and some achievement of the Black people that have done that have accomplished things through the years to make our life a little bit better.
Yes, definitely. And we also want to talk about people who are not normally recognized because, as we know, even from children until adulthood, we always hear about the same even though
people.
Not that they're not great, but we just want to honor and give information about different African Americans.
But before we do that, make sure you like, subscribe, and the notification, and share as well. Yes. So your friends and your family can see it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that person, and blah, blah, blah.
Yes. So first I want to start off with giving a little bit of background. So Black History Month was officially recognized, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month in 1976, calling upon the public to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. But I also wanted to just say that even before that, what I found some information, which I didn't know, is that a precursor to Black History Month was created in 1926 in the United States when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week.
And so you say that because that's who I wanted to mention is Carter G. Woodson, because he was a son of former slaves. Mm-hmm. Woodson also was an amazing man who, in his own right, with his family, I'm screwing this off.
Okay.
What am I talking about? No, basically, he had to teach his own self. He had to educate his own self. He was able to go to, he worked in a coal mine for a while at a young age. Now, he wasn't slaves, but his family was slaves. Mm-hmm. But he worked in a coal mine to help support his family and stuff. And at the age of 20, he was able to go to high school. At the age of 20. At 20 years old. But, he went to Douglas High School. The thing is that when he did go, since he educated himself, it only took him 2 years.
Which, it takes...
It takes normally 4 years, but there's people who don't want to go years.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This man was determined. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care what things are thrown at you, you can overcome it and achieve it.
Yes, that's honestly amazing when he had to educate his own self and then to finish in just 2 years.
Then he went on to earn a bachelor's degree from the University of Chicago in 1912. Woodson also became the second African American to earn a doctorate from Harvard University.
Wow.
Then he was a teacher at Howard University in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yes, he's a historian, author, and a journalist. And like you said, he started with the movement for the Association for the Study of African American Life and History.
That is
amazing.
It really is. And it's something I honestly didn't know, so it's teaching me.
He had other people with him as well. He had George Cleveland Hall. He had Alexander Jackson, James Stamps. They were all people together, and William Hartgrove. Those are people that he got together collectively to go forward with Black History Month.
See,
that's amazing.
That is.
But you said Carter. Are you gonna? Not Carter. Ford.
Ford was he made it official for Black History
but
Month.
It started back in 26,
and that was
1926.
For the
okay.
Week,
so 50 years later.
Look at that.
From when he started.
Recognized. But I know when I really started knowing and hearing about Black History Month, it was just a really good thing. We would have, of course in school we'd be taught certain things. I'm going to tell you a story in a second. But I want to tell you all about the two people that I picked, which are two Black inventors or people who helped with inventions that later came. So Dr. Shirley Jackson, she's an American physicist who was the first African American woman to earn a doctorate in nuclear physics at MIT, which is Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Okay.
Her experiments with theoretical physics, which that would just probably blow my mind. I probably would fail every one of those classes.
Well, I'd be like this.
Paved the way for numerous developments in the telecommunications space. Telecommunications space, including touch-tone telephone, portable fax machine, caller ID, call waiting, and the fiber optic cable. Now, she didn't actually invent those, but her developments in what she was doing with even Bell Telephone, it stated that it just paved the way for those people to be able to develop them.
Right.
Which I thought was great because we all use all of those.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
And half of the people think that the black woman was behind some of this stuff, they probably would blow up. You on that phone, black.
Right.
You watch that TV, black.
To have those certain developments or do research in that area, we may not have these type of luxuries that we just that I know I love. I don't even know if I could live without my phone. Well, no, I probably could.
We did.
Yeah, no.
So we didn't have phones like this in the 90s.
I know, but just think. We leave the house and we don't have our phone. We're like,
oh my God. Doing a U-turn on the highway to come back. You see headlights, you still dodging.
I really feel like why can't we go to the store and not have our cell phone attached to our
Well, things are different now because they're not as settled like they were back in the day. They're a little bit more dangerous at times. So you do need your phone for help. Like then also there used to be like all these pay phones everywhere.
Yeah,
you can't find one.
And if there was one, there's so many germs on there, like gum stuck to. You ever see one? And you're thinking like, this has to be the germing. Yes,
now is that now or that was back then?
It was probably back then. If you put that under a black light, look at how many people's ear went up to that phone.
But we didn't care back then. We put it right up there. Our mouth touched the little taco, little tongue on and stuff. And we didn't get E. coli. We didn't get what's the other thing?
I know it makes me sick. I can't.
Or so whatever they call.
We truly.
We didn't get that stuff back then, but now it's like everything germaphobe. Oh my God, hand sanitizer, all this stuff. We didn't bleach. We didn't have all that. We didn't do all that stuff back then. And look at us, and we survived.
We did survive. But I think it made us stronger, and we are truly have become a very. I can't say we're weak, but we are worried about things that we shouldn't, and I think it really has made us, in a way, like in our minds, truly a weakened,
society.
It truly is.
Yeah.
Okay, so my second African American is Marie Van Brittan Brown, a full-time nurse who recognized the security threats to her home and devised a system that would alert her of strangers at her door.
Oh, right. The ring doorbell.
And contact relevant authorities as quickly as possible. Her original invention consisted of peepholes, a camera, monitors, and a two-way microphone. The finishing touch was an alarm button that, when pressed, would immediately contact the police. Her patent laid the groundwork for the modern closed-circuit television system that is widely used for surveillance, home security systems, push-button alarm triggers, and crime prevention and traffic monitoring.
Wow,
So
I never know. She's ADT. Seriously.
You know what? She really came up with the first security system just by wanting her own home to be secure.
So Ring ain't did shit. You know what I'm saying? With the camera and the two-way talking?
Yeah, so that she paved the way for that.
Wow.
And then she's an African American. And I wanted to
I'm glad you mentioned
highlight
that. I didn't
two
know
women.
that.
I mean, women, because, so often, of course, men normally get,
recognized. They get recognized for things.
And sometimes as women, we don't. And I just wanted to.
Just like, for instance, like Hidden Figures. Who would have known?
Yes. And
who would have known?
Until I watched it, I really didn't know.
I didn't know either until I seen the movie. And the woman, I think
just recently
passed. Okay, because I know she was still alive when the movie was made.
The one that Taraji played.
Yeah, because they brought her on stage and everything. She was in a wheelchair, but she still looked good and everything. But
So
I think her last name was Johnson.
Is okay. I didn't remember. But that is just, if we just do a little bit of research, and I really think that I need to find, just start looking into just how much African Americans has done for our society, our country, and different things. And really quickly, I just want to say this, and I just found this on online. There are more than 230 women of color serving as firefighters in Miami-Dade. And that's just amazing to me, because I couldn't imagine being a firefighter as a woman.
Right.
There's 230 of them, and it's the most in like
in the precincts and stuff.
Yes.
Wow,
So
wow.
That's just
I didn't know
amazing.
that. So this is very educational, because hopefully people who is watching this, the stuff we're talking about, like, I didn't know that.
Right.
So it just enlighten you that there is so much more achievement that Black people have done that we don't know. The crazy part, they don't teach us this in school.
And that's so true, because as I said, we only learned about so many. Of course, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, even like Harriet Tubman,
Phyllis Wheatley.
Yes.
Phyllis Wheatley. I said Wheatley. Phyllis Wheatley.
But it's normally the same ones each year, and I think, and I'm
Booker
not
T. Washington.
right.
Yeah. Let me stop. I'll keep going.
I was going to say there are quite a few, but it was always the same. Not like people who are either behind the scenes or like started certain developments that, like I just spoke of, that ended up, making our lives much more, much better. So I like just learning these types of things.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, let me just in school. This is what I wanted to tell you. When we were in high school, did you take Afro American history?
I was thinking that I can't really remember. I don't think I did, honestly, and I don't know why. Did I not?
See, I should have shamed you back then, but
should have.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
I don't think I did. So that's terrible.
They used to have it. It was called Afro Americans. You remember with Miss Turner?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Turner was Black.
Yeah.
It was only, you had world cultures and you had U.S. history and stuff like that. It was only one class.
Yes, and I knew it was only one.
Yeah.
What year did you take that? What?
11 and 12.
See, and I'm trying to think. I know I would have. Why would that? Anyway, go ahead.
You sure you didn't take it?
I really believe I did.
Because I'm like, why do I think you was in there?
Yes, I know I did.
did.
I know I said
yeah, because I think, why do I think you're in there? Because Mike was in there.
Yes.
Do you remember having class with Mike?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so that had to be in there.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So I think you did take it.
Okay.
Were you in there when you had a class with her at all, right?
Yes.
Do you remember when she was crying doing "We Are the World"?
No, of
She
course
played that.
I don't remember that.
Well, maybe I was in there for different history. Because I had her for 2 history classes. Yeah, because it was so emotional for her and stuff, and she was crying for "We Are the World" and stuff like that, and I thought she was nuts. But no. But going back to what I was saying, so you could not take that class until your 11th grade, to your junior. So I ended up taking the class, and she said before the end of the school year, she said that they have to get so many people signed up to even have the class. Okay, people, we are back. Then we can't see our faces. Forget it.
Yes.
We are back. We have
technical
difficulties with this damn battery. But back to what I was saying about Miss Turner's class.
Yes.
She had to have so many people signed up for the Afro American history class so it could go on for the following year.
Okay.
So you had to follow up the prior year. So what I did is went around, it wasn't like an official paper or anything, but I went around and to all my friends and stuff, and started talking to them like, hey, we need to get
sign up.
Yes, and I'm like, you need to go, and because I think you had to go either to the office or maybe her or something. You had to sign up, and I was telling people to go do it. I even had a few white people do it too.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
I'm kind of remembering. My memory is so horrible it's terrible. But yes, I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, and because I did that because I wanted to make sure we had it for our 12th grade year, which we did. Mm-hmm. We had it for our 12th grade year, and she told us that at that time they were cutting the funding.
Isn't that terrible?
And so we were the last ones to have it.
That's awful. Hopefully they put it back in there.
I don't think so, because I haven't heard anything like nobody was talking about.
That's why. Why would you learn everything else about
everybody else's culture?
Yes, and we can't have this very small.
Well, that's what happened. So they ended up they had to cut it. and we were the last class to get it. So yeah, but I was glad I did that. And I was just thinking like how I was so enthused. You know, like we were talking earlier on the phone about when I was younger, I would just went ahead and just did stuff. Now I'm all cautious about
we didn't
everything.
even think about it.
We just did it, and I'm like, that's how people did it back in the day. Like even reading with Carter Woodson and stuff like that. When people just did stuff, because you have to go forward. You think about it, you dream about it, it can be done. So just go forward, just like whatever it is, especially if it's going to change and make a difference in people's lives for the better.
Right.
You know, of course, you anything destructive is like something like this, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that we really should not allow our fears or hesitations to just go forth. We have a good idea, you know, figure out how to get it implemented, how to start it. And, you know, we both talk about different things we want to do. We really just need to just go and do it. And that's for everyone. If you have that idea, if you feel like you can make a difference, please just do it. You could be one of these people that someone's talking about one day.
Right. Like, look, remember that little girl that was talking, she was talking about the school board, and she was standing up and they did the walkout and all that other stuff because they didn't like how things were being done. She's young. She started it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So look at like the young ones with the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. How they're going forward.
Too, how that started and now it's become huge,
big, and it's going to keep growing.
It's going to grow.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep growing because last year was the biggest turnout I ever seen in my life when they protested for so long, which needed to be done because it was so many of us dying.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. So we just want to give you some input of some other Black people have done some amazing things that you may not know about, because I didn't know. Yeah, you know about all that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't know.
So that helped us to research and find out things that we didn't have known about these people, and hopefully you all will do that. And even with your children, maybe you throughout the month. I mean, the month is almost over, but next year, or it could be any time actually. It doesn't have to be that month. But just take a time out throughout the month and just start pulling up different people or researching our history and just knowledge is power, and that's how.
See, I have a niece. Well, my niece.
Yes.
She's all into this. Like she been doing this since day one, like in school and stuff. She just went and started studying on her own. So she taught me a lot when it came to a different African Americans that have done things besides the norm that we knew. Exactly. But she has exposed me to so much, and I'm glad that she's that type of person that went after it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't. I didn't. I'm more so now than I was ever before. I guess because I'm a lot older, but I wasn't like that when I was that young. But I wanted to be, even like it was in high school. That's why I took the African American history, so I can learn more American history. So I can learn more about Black people and the struggle and stuff. Like a lot of stuff, even slavery, I didn't even know until Afro-American history class of how we were treated. I knew we were treated bad, but just the Miss Turner went in depth about it and broke it down like this and that, why we eat certain food and why this is going on and why that's going on. I had not a clue. I didn't have a clue, because the only thing they do say, Black people was enslaved this amount of time, that's amount of time, really blah blah blah. Then we go straight into it.
But that's the thing of how we are today, or traditions that our parents brought down to us, is because of the slaves. Their grandparents and how. The foods, like you said, the slaves ate, songs that they sang, things that kept them comforted, that sometimes we don't realize as to why it was taught to us. Right,
and why it's tradition. You know what I'm saying? We don't.
Definitely.
Yeah, so here we are today in 2021. So we just want to just give you, do a Black History Month, because this is our first one. Because we keep saying we always miss this month because we be so busy doing other stuff, but with the pandemic, it slowed us down. So that's why we're here. It did. When you think about it.
Yes, you know what? Because we cannot move and groove like we used to. So we have nothing but, outside of our regular work and things like that. We need to. And actually, we don't have to do it just once.
No.
We need to start bringing.
We maybe should do that like once one of our shows in a month.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just bring a
different-
person and just read a little segment
Exactly.
about them real quick. Then we go into whatever topic we're talking about. Because we used to do the CDs,
We
but the
did.
copyrights, and I got a lot of letters and backslash on that because I don't own the copyrights to these people, so they shut me down with that one. But that's okay. I know who you are, but that's okay. But so.
So we could
Yeah, so this is different. I can talk about these people all day long. You
Yes.
can't shut me down with this one. And half of these people are dead, so it don't even matter. You know.
And it's educational.
It is
so
educational.
I think that we should definitely do that.
It is.
All right.
So anything else about it?
No.
Only thing I will say is again, just know your history. It doesn't matter what color you are. Know your history, know other people's history, so you can understand and things can be better. Once you understand someone else's struggle and their history, their culture,
Right.
then you can be more empathetic to their needs and wants. And then you can understand why things go a certain way. But if you don't do that, you'll have no understanding and you will be ignorant to all of it.
And
So.
we know what ignorance brings. And it's a shame, but there's power in ignorance, but it's a terrible power. It's
Right.
like reverse of what power should be.
Right.
But we all should definitely have some knowledge of what other cultures, other people, and have gone through to know, so that we can be better people.
Did
I
you
just
hear what's
think
going on in China? That they having the riots and
It's,
stuff, and then
you
they're
know,
having the protests.
And that's the thing about other countries.
I have
We
never heard
no
that anywhere else.
idea of what
What's
these people
going-
are
right.
going through.
Because now they're having the Asian bashing and stuff, and they're being nasty to Asians. A lot of people. I
Yeah,
saw
did you
that.
see that where they're just hitting people and
Yeah,
just
because they think because of
You know what?
Corona.
It's just awful.
ignorant.
It's always like something ends up being a trend and people are doing it. Remember at some point that they were hitting old people? Remember that?
Yes,
And
it's always crazy. It's just-
terrible. I don't get it. But anyway, that's on another subject. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about that again. So once again, we do thank you for tuning in to the Smitty Sebastian Kirk show. I am Smitty Sebastian Kirk,
And I'm Nisha C.
and for that we say, know your history.